about a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it. But the short story, but not who they are. It says, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know. But this person, who's a very, very good reporter, I mean, aces, right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones who have all this stuff. So the point is, to sum it up, how do you know some of these countries aren't going to some of these power players who aren't making decisions? Because, hey, you wouldn't want this video out there, right? How do you know?
100%.
I mean,
let's get
because of all of the political pressure inside the building. You've got Trump posting on Truth Social about the FBI today. The FBI, under the direction of Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino, is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up America's streets. We have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and corrupt leadership often prevented them from doing their job. That is no longer the case, and now they have been unleashed to do their jobs, and they are doing just that. Keep it up. Make America safe again. I live in a world, if you have to tell me stuff like this, there's a problem. What criminals are they locking up?
Well, that's a good question. And you know what we have for doing that types of street investigations of street crime? We have police. We have state and local police to do that. The FBI, they do collaborate with state and local police, particularly on task force that do sometimes involve.
They ought to shut MSNBC down. They ought to just shut this crap down. The whole fake news media, the ABC, CBS, the whole alphabet news, they ought to just shut this crap down. I tell you, you just can't make this up. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to interrupt. I'm sorry. I can't just seeing big Jilly Willie Einstein up here. I just can't, man. Unbelievable. The fake news media kills me, man. Sheesh.
Violent crime investigations, drug trafficking. But there's also so much of the FBI that is about part of our national security apparatus, right? That's investigating, as we were talking about.
Look at the headline. Trump's politicized FBI makes Americans less safe. You just can't make this up. Look at the headline. Look at the fake news headline.
Not just counterintelligence cases, and terrorism cases, but also foreign corruption. Domestic corruption, right? Highest levels of corruption, both in our, corporations, but also within government, and, things that local police just don't do. And instead, I think what we're hearing is we're basically deprioritizing all of that in favor of support to mass deportation and some level of other types of street crime, violent
investigating the opposition. Look, when I hear Donald Trump
want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Yeah, buddy. I'm like granddaddy and them, when they sit you down and you sit outside on the porch and y'all have a cold beer, cold drink, something cold to drink, and y'all just talk about life and it just get real, I'm like granddaddy and them back in the day. Yeah, buddy. What a day it's been. What the past few weeks has been, family, Just trying to survive, Just trying to survive. And oh, sweet America, and every single day is something new. Every single hour, them Patriots just refreshing the page. What's next? What's next? Has anybody been arrested? Has somebody been walked out with their hands behind their back? That's all them Patriots want. Yeah. and them prices and rates to come down, stay down, forever be down. Be able to go to the gas station, have a good time, go in there while the thing's still pumping, get them something to drink and a nice bag of, of them sweets. Some of them patrons diabetic, they still grab it anyways. It's okay. Come back outside, the thing still ain't clicked yet. Good times. Yeah, that's all. Able to go inside the grocery store and smile, and able to make the payment on time and smile, and able to go out and buy this, and the interest rate had dropped all the way down to about 1-2%. Oh, this is good. Yeah, the good times, man. Yeah, that's all. That they actually can walk down the street. We actually have borders. That's all. Yeah, that's all they want to do. Common sense. Not pushing all this woke crap and pushing this all onto the kids and all our children. And yeah, no. Hell no. Yeah. People just want common sense. That's it. Common sense and a great way of life, man. That's it. That's what we advocate for, man. And we also advocate for accountability. Yeah, because there's been some dirty, disgusting things that have taken place. Some corruption has taken place. The corruption, and it's bigger than what we think it is. It's deeper than the surface, So, another trending topic right now, another trending name. You might have heard of him. You might love him. Dan Bongino. And then we have Cash Patel, Pam Bondi. How do you feel about them right now? Let me know in the comment section, But we got to start this off on a good show, man. And we got the beautiful Megyn Kelly. It's getting real. And we seen Benny Johnson almost cry live on set. He on his show. He's just in disbelief and did not like Trump's response. And many of you and millions of people around the world did not like the way Trump responded and how Pam responded, and this whole Epstein fallout we're having now, and how there's all of a sudden there's no list, there's no this. Hell, some of them patriots say, well, hell, he might be alive. He might be walking around right now drinking a margarita. Them conspiracy theorists and fell on their knees and passed out. Some of them conspiracy theorists and had a heart attack. Oh, man. But we just can't believe it, man. We just can't go for it. People are calling big cover up, massive cover up. And Megyn Kelly has come out and says, I'm asking for a 2-hour interview with Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, so she can get to the bottom of the Epstein case. What do y'all think about that? I'll play the clip right here.
I'm a supporter of the president, but this is not going well. And they need a shift in strategy. And I really think what needs to happen is, I volunteer to do it because I am not conspiratorial, but I totally understand the Epstein case very well and why people have questions about it. I'll sit down with all three of them. Give me Bondi, Patel, and Bongino for 2 hours. Nothing, no holds barred. I can ask anything. And then the audience can see whether they're truth tellers. And I care about them. I don't know Pam as well, but though I know Pam, I don't dislike Pam. I really don't. We go back years at Fox News. Dan is the only one who I consider an actual personal friend. But the audience knows that, and I hope is coloring, that in on assessing my own bias on this. But this is why you have to sort of keep some distance between yourself and the administration, even when they're your friends. You have to be able to report honestly on them and to call out bullshit when you think you smell it. And I think I smell it, and I'm nowhere near dog poop playground. So I think it's coming from Washington, D.C.
Wow. We are definitely going to repost that, retweet that. And again, y'all know Megyn Kelly has had some of the best interviews. Y'all know she used to be anti-Trump. And when Trump was first running, y'all know the whole history. And she even has one of the most viral clips of the whole Rosie O'Donnell. Only Rosie O'Donnell, when she asked Trump that famous question, calling women slops and pigs and all kind of stuff, But people are saying, I may regret posting this, but the FBI Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. He even added them. He said, we're supposed to count on both of you to be truthful, but you failed us and covered up the Epstein files. F you both. I'm going to just say F you. You know, I don't want to. But, you know, there was a hit piece that came out on them right before this took place. The fake news, the New York Times saying they're making that Trump's politicized FBI with Cash Patel and Dan Bongino is making Americans less safe. And they came out and they actually showed the numbers, and the numbers told a different story. And they've been seizing up stuff and catching some of the worst, arresting some of the worst, deporting some of the worst individuals, you know. And this is what people voted for, you know. But it says, do you still fully trust FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino? Answer that in the comment section. Do y'all still trust them? You know, and just a day ago, Trump said, you know, the FBI under the direction of Director Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up American streets. We have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and the corrupt leadership of often prevented them from doing their job. This is no longer the case, and now they have been unleashed to do their jobs, and they are doing just that. Keep it up, make America safe again. And Dan Bongino responded and requoted and reposted it, and he said, we are doubling down, no letting up. And
what Pam Bond?
There's a lot of patriots that you know, that a lot of, you know, Mike Rob, we played some of his videos on our show before. He says, I'm 100% Trump supporter. What Pam, Cash, and Dan Bongino is doing, making that look really, really suspicious right now. Don't tell the American people you have documents sitting on your desk and all of a sudden they're gone. Americans want answers. Yeah, let's play this. Let's check this out.
I'm a Trump supporter, 100%. What Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and Dan Bongino is doing, making that look really, really suspicious right now. Don't tell the American people you have documents sitting on your desk and all of a sudden they're gone. Then we got floods going on everywhere, so all the attention is in other areas. Better wake up, guys. Better wake up. I think there's a lot going on and we just don't understand. Hopefully all the dark will come to light. Maybe we'll get some answers, but right now, a little pissed off.
Yeah. And I seen a couple of you guys in my last show, in my last video saying, yeah, Rick, there's a lot going on, a lot of distractions. And we also see this flood, and then with the flood, and then they have this, and, you know, they want you to, you know, let it go in one ear, one out the other, distract you, and then everybody forgets about this. But I'm hoping that all the dark comes to the light, man, you know. But before he was in office, Dan Bongino told Tim Pool a story of how he was told that Epstein was a intelligent asset for a country in the Middle East. Check this out.
About a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it. But well, the short story, but not who they are. It says, you know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know. But this person, who's a very, very good reporter, I mean, aces, right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones who have all this stuff. So the point is, to sum it up, How do you know some of these countries aren't going to some of these power players who aren't making decisions? Because, hey, you wouldn't want this video out there, right? How do you know?
100%.
I mean,
let's get.
Yeah, the American people want answers, you know, and we hear these clips and we play these clips of what they've said in the past, you know. And then we go on Fox, and this is one of those interviews where it looked like they like grabbed him by the nuts or stole something from him and told him to shh.
And there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. It was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
So he said that last week, or almost a week and a half ago, you know. Man. But again, I really do want that Megyn Kelly interview. I really do. I want them to sit down with Megyn Kelly. We know she's going to get it out of them. Her and a couple others, I would love for them to sit down with, you know. And I say have Trump with them too. Yeah, have President Trump there. You know, let's interview all three and President Trump. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Yeah. But people are calling for Pam Bondi to be fired, to resign immediately. You know, what do y'all think of that? Let me know in the comment section.
In the memo, the language that Pam Bondi used, which was no incriminating client list, that really jumped out to me, actually, because it maybe gives her a little wiggle room between saying that she had a client list and then saying there's no incriminating client list. So I wanted to ask you if maybe that's what's going on here before we get into some of these other details.
I don't know what's going on with her. I believe Dan Bongino is not lying to me. I really do. When Dan Bongino puts his name on something, I don't know Cash as well, but I know Dan. I know him well. We've worked together many, many years. He didn't just turn around and start lying. That's not who he is. He's an honest guy, and he takes this role very seriously. And I
feel that, you know, y'all know we've been supporters of Bongino for quite a minute. We've had some amazing videos. We've done a lot of research on him. You know, we've supported his whole entire show for a while, you know, a long time. And he just seems like one of those ones that, you know, this guy gets in, he's definitely going to stand on his word. And I know a lot of you guys felt that way too, but I know a lot of people right now are getting those iffy vibes. Like, it's like, you know, it's bigger than what we think it is. You know, it's deeper than the actual service. And I know this is honestly really, really deep. You know, and I know a lot of people have kind of somewhat turned on Candace Owens for her recent takes and this and that, and coming out saying she's disappointed in this and that. But a lot of stuff she was talking about, you know, now we see why Candace was somewhat saying certain things the way she said them. I know some of y'all don't probably support Candace Owens now, or, you know, or feel some kind of way about her now, but hey, you know. And I know she hasn't. She's having all kind of talking points, and she's probably furious right now as well. And, you know, she's one of those conspiracy theorists. And it's a lot of these conspiracy theorists, man, I'm telling you. And again, some people don't want to go that deep. They don't want to dive in like that. A lot of people said, we're not going to get it. We already know we're not going to get it. We know it's something bigger than our pay grade, you know. And some people, I'll be honest with you, because I think they did a poll, and they asked people, you know, what do you care about? Do you care about the Epstein list more, or these issues like, you know, the economy, immigration, this, and, you know, again, more. A lot of people voted that they don't really care about this, and they care about, you know, that. again, I know some of y'all might be like, well, no, Rick, I care about accountability and this and that. And I feel you. I'm with you. Hey, y'all know my motto. You got to put your hands behind your back. You know, I want it to all come out. I want everybody to be exposed. People down there in Congress, Washington, yeah. We just start walking people out in handcuffs. Everybody. Democrats, everybody. All kind of billionaires, people that did this and that. Yeah, expose everybody. Walk them out. Walk these dirty scums out. Walk these perverts out. Walk these pedophiles out. Walk everybody out. That's what I'm advocating for. God dog it. You got doggone right.
I trust him, and I trust him not to actively mislead me or you. However, Pam Bondi has definitely made multiple inconsistent statements, and I'm sorry, but she does not deserve the benefit of my good opinion, and I'm not prepared to give it to her.
Them Patriots said we should have just kept Gates, Matt. We would have. It's okay if those allegations were, we would have lived with the allegations. Matter of fact, it seemed like everybody Trump nominated had an allegation. Somebody was accused of something sexual. It seems like everybody. Yeah, he might have walked outside the store with stole a candy bar. He stole a candy bar when he was 7 years old. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right now.
She's, yes, on camera saying that clip that Peter Doocy was referencing, where John Roberts asked her, do you have the client list? Like, are you going to release a client list? And she said, yes. He said client list, and she said, yes, it's on my desk right now. So it was not as amorphous as Caroline, to her credit. She's trying to cover for the administration, which is her job, but they put her in a very difficult position. It's not amorphous. It's very clear. She said yes. And here's what happened. What happened was Pam Bondi said that, and then a week later, she said she was going to be releasing some very interesting documents the next day, when on Jesse Waters' show, like 6 days after that first hit, he said, hey, what client list is coming out? And she was like, it's going to be getting very interesting, and some interesting Epstein documents are coming out tomorrow. And that is when the influencers, right-wing influencers who had been very good to Trump, who amidst all the deranged media out there, were able to see through the bullshit and reported honestly and helped him a lot, and did not deserve the humiliation that she heaped upon them. It was not through their own doing. She invited them there. I mean, who wouldn't go, right? It's Pam Bondi. Do you want to come meet with the head of the FBI and the vice president for an exclusive Epstein leak? Yeah, yes. Most people in media would say yes to that. So they went, and in the classic line from Animal House, you fucked up. You trusted us. That's what happened. They fucked up because they trusted her, and they were humiliated because she gave them all these binders that read Epstein files, volume
the
1. And there was
op.
nothing new in there. Nothing. There was no scoop. Why would she do that? And it led to, behind the scenes, like all the White House staffers, like the top people in the White House for Trump, distancing themselves from Pam Bondi immediately. Like, we don't know why she did that. And then it came out that they were urging her not to do it. But I don't know what she was up to. She wanted to have some moment where she looked like she was the one. And then she was in trouble. And she knew it. So she said, all right, that's just the first tranche. I'm really pissed off. The FBI is the one who screwed me. They said everything was in there. Okay, like you need to know. You need to know that no lawyer just sloppily calls all these PR people in and says, here are the files, without knowing what's in there. But she wants us to believe she did. Okay, so she either was clueless or she intentionally embarrassed them. I don't know which is better.
Yeah. But again, like I said, y'all, we want a follow-up interview. And I know, again, Trump, the way Trump responded, we'll play that right now. And again, a lot of things are still trending right now. They're still saying trust in Trump. Do not give up on things like this Epstein fallout. But hey, trust Trump is still trending. Why did I type that in this trending? What am I doing? But again, here it is right here. Everybody has posted this clip. It's gotten millions of hits, and people are saying that Trump is massively misreading his base on this. that yes, we should be talking about it. You know, yes, President Trump, we should be talking about it. We know there's, you know, a huge, you know, devastation, a huge disaster, tragic news in Texas, but people still want answers. People still want accountability, President Trump. You know?
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If I
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.